Welcome back everyone to a video, and today we are talking about the Ravens heading into the 2025 NFL season. Now I am doing a video for every single NFL team, going more in-depth like this, breaking down the offense, the defense, coaching, rookies, schedule, all that kind of stuff, and giving a record breakdown along with any other talking points for the team going into the next season. So we just did the Bengals. Today is the Ravens. We'll finish up the AFC North within the next week or so. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I would really appreciate it. We also do tier lists and other sort of rankings like that. So it's always NFL content though. But for the Ravens, I do want to just kind of get right into this with a brief recap of 2024. Lamar Jackson, unbelievable season. In my opinion, he should have won MVP. But again, Josh Allen had just as good of a season. So I can see it going either way. I thought Lamar had the edge, though, if I just had to pick one player. For last year, the Lamar, 4,172 passing yards, 41 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. Unbelievable season. It was an MVP caliber season. The postseason, of course, didn't quite go their way, and again, we'll talk about all that here in just a minute. Derrick Henry, 1,921 rushing yards. He just refuses to hit the age where running backs should be declining, and he's so far just not doing it. He is still King Henry for sure. He had 16 touchdowns on top of those yards as well. Lamar Jackson as well on the ground, 915 yards, 4 more touchdowns there. And again, this was a very dynamic Ravens offense that was supposed to be dynamic. I mean, bringing in Derrick Henry was one of the biggest talking points all offseason last year for the Ravens and for the entire NFL. And it proved to be worth the move. I mean, it was unbelievable. Couldn't quite get to that Super Bowl, but again, we'll get there. Receiving-wise, Zay Flowers, 1,059 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. Rashad Bateman, 756 and 9. And Mark Andrews, 673 with 11 touchdowns. Also, Isaiah Likely, 477 and 6 touchdowns. And we will definitely talk about Isaiah Likely again in this video. But overall, receiving-wise, it's about what you expect. You know, the Ravens are never a team, I think, that's going to want to just air the ball out constantly. They don't really have one of those true dominant wide receiver ones, but they have a lot of really good playmakers, especially after drafting Zay Flowers. He's a very solid wide receiver one, but they have a lot of playmakers like Rashad Bateman, like Isaiah Likely, Justice Hill out of the backfield. I mean, this is a really, really good offense. That could have been even better too, but they had a couple injuries in the running back room, guys that impacted their game that way as well. So overall, I was very happy with the Ravens season. Obviously wanted more success for them in the postseason, but as far as just continuing to build toward a potential Super Bowl win, I think they absolutely did that. Defensively, at times, things were a little sketchy, but you still got guys like Roquan Smith in there, Kyle Hamilton, who in my opinion is one of the most underrated or underappreciated, I should say, safeties in the entire NFL. I think he's just so good. I don't think people really give him the respect he deserves sometimes. But yeah, unbelievable season for him. You also have Matabike, who had a great season as well. Kyle Van Noy, 12.5 sacks on the season. Nate Wiggins, the rookie corner, very solid rookie season as well. It's an exciting Ravens team. It really is. There's a lot of fun guys in this defense, and they only added to that this offseason in both the draft and free agency. And overall, there are some rough points in the year, but there's also some really, really dominant points to where I was honestly expecting the Ravens to possibly make the Super Bowl. Again, didn't quite get there, but again, we'll get to just how good this Ravens team could be this year right now. So the depth chart as it stands right now: Lamar Jackson for quarterback, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Keaton Mitchell for running backs, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and DeAndre Hopkins for wide receiver, tight end Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, fullback Patrick Ricard, of course, and the offensive line Ronnie Staley, Andrew Voorhees, Tyler Lindenbaum, Daniel Falele, and Roger Rosengarten. We're going to jump right into some players I want to talk about. So just right now on the screen, I want to be very clear. I say this in every video. Just because a player is not listed on this does not mean I don't think that they are worthy of something. I think it is literally the only reason that these players are on here. They're just some talking points I want to talk about. If a player is not featured, it does not mean I don't think they're good. Just to be very clear on that. The first player on that list is Lamar Jackson, of course. I mean, this is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. In my opinion, he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, especially after last season. Up there with, of course, the big four: Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. But again, this is someone that you can count on. I think Lamar Jackson is capable of winning a Super Bowl. I know people talk about his lack of postseason success, and it is certainly a pattern, and you don't want to let that affect things like, can Lamar get things done? But at a certain point, you do have to weigh it, right? And I still think Lamar is capable of getting there, but the AFC is tough. The AFC is very tough, and I don't think people really give Lamar a lot of credit there because while his teams are very good, and maybe he has some bad playoff games or he's had a bad playoff game, the AFC is incredibly competitive. And not to knock on the NFC, but I think overall, I think the AFC is much tougher than the NFC, especially in the playoffs. So, will I say, I'm not going to go as far as saying the Ravens would make a Super Bowl in the NFC, hands down, because it's just not fair to some of the great teams in the NFC. But I do think the Ravens have a tough road to get to the Super Bowl, and I don't think it's fair to blame Lamar for not being able to get there. I think there's a lot of other factors at play. At the end of the day, I think Lamar is capable of getting there, and we will hopefully see that happen soon for him. Another guy, though, Isaiah Likely. So, obviously, I have the star there. This is just relative to the team. I think it's a star player for the team. I see Isaiah Likely only being more involved, to be honest with you. Mark Andrews is a great player. I don't see anything wrong with him. You have to just bench him or throw him aside or anything like that. I think Likely is a great player, and I think he has the higher upside, and I think he's more dynamic for the offense. I think he's a better fit for the offense at this point. So that's really what it comes down to. No disrespect to Mark Andrews. I really like what Isaiah Likely brings to the table, and I expect him to be even more involved this coming season. Derrick Henry has a gem, of course. I mean, he's a top 5 running back in the NFL. He's a Hall of Famer. He's everything you want in a running back at this point. And if you want to try and get this Super Bowl, you need to do it while Derrick Henry is still playing at a very, very high level. I'm not saying it can't be done without Derrick Henry, but would you rather have Derrick Henry on your team to try and win a Super Bowl or not? You, of course, would rather have him on your team. So the Ravens need to capitalize in this current window they have to win a Super Bowl. Also, Keaton Mitchell. So I gave him the eyes. This is someone that was actually really good 2 seasons ago. Then he tore his ACL, unfortunately. Hasn't had a full offseason yet of being healthy, but now he does. Coming back into this season, I have the eyes on him. I think he's definitely a player to watch. This is someone that can really steal some snaps from Justice Hill, in my opinion. And I think you can see a lot more of Keaton Mitchell along with Derrick Henry in the backfield. Again, Justice Hill is a very solid player. I think he's really nice out of the backfield, but I think Keaton Mitchell is the better fit for the offense, and I think he has the higher upside as well. So I'm excited to see what they do with him. I'm excited to see him back and healthy. Definitely a player to watch for me. Moving over to the defense, Kyle Hamilton, I gave the gem to. I think he's absolutely a top 5 safety in the NFL, arguably. I have the ish down there, so really top 5, 6, maybe even 7. But I think Kyle Hamilton is absolutely incredible. He has great speed, great size, great instincts. He's great tackling. He can read the ball well. I think there's just so many things he does well, and he's honestly only becoming even more of a leader for that defense. Matabike, I gave the star to. He had a great season last year. He was very, very disruptive. I think only about 6.5 sacks, but it's still a very solid season, and he did a lot more than just that. So I think it's dangerous to look at only the sack numbers for defensive linemen. It doesn't tell the whole story of just how effective they really were. Same goes for Matabike. Great season from him. They draft Malachi Starks out of Georgia. This is a huge move for me. In my opinion, Starks is a phenomenal player. I think he only adds to that secondary that did struggle at times last year. I gave him the eyes because I think he's absolutely a player to watch in year 1. Honestly, this could be a huge boom pick for the Ravens. Pairing him back there with Kyle Hamilton in the secondary with guys like Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins now in year 2. I mean, this is a dangerous, dangerous secondary the Ravens have put together. Malachi Starks is only going to higher that ceiling for them. They did sign Jair Alexander, and it may seem weird for me not to be more excited about this or to have a higher kind of emoji or icon, whatever you want to call it, on him. But you have to understand, Jair has only played 8 games at the most in the last 4 seasons. Not combined, but in the last 4 seasons, the most games he's played in any of those seasons has been 8. That's not good. That's not someone you can count on. Everyone knows just how good a healthy Jair Alexander is, but it's now to the point where these injuries have stacked up, and I need to see more from him staying healthy to give him a higher grade. I mean, could he absolutely be a star potential on this team? Oh, easily. Just easily. Absolutely he could. But at the same time, I think there's other guys that are capable of stepping up if Jair goes down. And Jair has shown the last few years staying healthy has been an issue for him. So I really hope he does, but I don't have a lot of confidence in that, and that's why it's not higher. So I still want to talk about him. It's Jair Alexander. It's a big signing, but health has to be a priority for him. I hope he can stay on the field. The best ability is availability, and he has struggled with that the past few seasons. Overall, though, the Ravens have a really, really exciting roster. They're one of my favorite teams to watch in the AFC right now. And I think this season can still be just as good as last season, if not better. But again, this division, the AFC North, is only getting better. I think the Bengals improved defensively. I think they even improved offensively, to be honest with you. The Steelers, I think overall, I think they improved. I mean, this is going to be a fight for first place in the AFC North among those three teams. I'm not as confident in the Browns, but for those three teams, it is not going to be easy. Every game is going to matter, and it's going to be a tough season. And so as I did for the other teams, and I will continue to do, we'll have a little chart on the screen. Just keep it like kind of simple for my rankings. I have the Ravens maxed out, though. S tier is the highest. Funny enough, I had this exact same chart for them last year. I am literally reusing it. And it's because I'm still just as confident in them offensively and defensively. There's no reason for me to look at this and say, okay, they got worse here to bring it down enough. Yeah, they've had some changes, some turnover, but they've had some great moves to bring guys in. I think defense is much improved from last year, to be honest with you. And I was already high on it last year when they seemed to struggle a little bit. So I had them S tier, honestly. I think this is one of the best teams in the entire NFL. I think it's one of the best teams in the AFC. It's one of the best teams in the AFC North. This is a Super Bowl contender. This is a threat. This is one of the best teams in the league. But you got to show some postseason fight. And I don't think it's fair to say they haven't shown postseason fight, but I'm not going to lie, I would have expected them to make it further than they have so far. The reason I mention him, though, and really just anyone else willing to step up, is with DeAndre Hopkins there. And look, Hopkins has had an incredible NFL career, but at this stage, I don't know how consistent he's going to be for the Ravens, to be honest. I think this is going to be... Hopkins, I think, is going to be more effective than Odell was in Baltimore, but not as effective, I think, as some might think DeAndre Hopkins, the name, if that makes sense, will be in Baltimore. It's going to be somewhere in between for me. It's not someone I love to be on the field constantly, like this consistent weapon. I don't see it, to be honest. I think it's still going to run through Zay Flowers in the passing game. Bateman's a very, very good playmaker, but there needs to be someone to step up a bit more. Maybe it is Hopkins at his age. I'm just saying I don't have the most faith in him. I wasn't super excited about that signing, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. Defensively, as I've already kind of said, I don't have a ton of faith in Jair, but even without him, this is still a very good secondary. It's a very good defense, and it is truly, in my opinion, over the past couple of seasons, looking at the Ravens roster, I think this is overall the best one they've had. Maybe that's, I'm not sure that's like a hot take or a very common take. I don't really know. But in my opinion, at least on paper, this is one where, you know, you're full go win now mode. The Ravens have been in that mode, but I mean, they're doing everything they can. They're getting guys like Jair, who's a proven veteran, even getting in Hopkins, a proven veteran. It's like they're trying to get as many pieces as possible, just put together and just go win the whole thing. And I think they're capable of doing it. I'm not sure where they really go from here. If they don't, I'm not going to get into all that because it's just so far down the road and so many hypotheticals. But the Ravens are good enough to go win a Super Bowl. They have the pieces. They've been making the moves. It's really just about going and actually doing it now. However, their path to get there is fairly difficult, and we're going to get into it. So this is my official prediction for the Ravens season. And it's very difficult to go game by game. And we're in June right now, and I'm talking about games in November because you just don't know what it's going to be like when that rolls around. But again, trying to do my best with it. I have been going 12-5 on the season, which is first in the AFC North for me. It is one ahead of the Bengals, who I have going 11-6, and then we'll get to the Steelers and Browns. But 12-5, I had them losing week 1 to Buffalo in Buffalo. It's always going to be a tough game. I think it'll be really exciting, but I don't know if the Ravens will really pull that one off. A little bit of a win streak after that at home, then losing on the road to the Chiefs. And then after that loss to the Rams, you know, the Rams always just play everybody so tough. And, I mean, it's just one of those games where I think the Rams will pull that off. I had them going on a big win streak, though, after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 straight games after that to really get most of the season kind of under wraps for them. And then losing 2 of their last 4. But that still rounds out to 12-5 in the season. Beating the Patriots, beating the Packers, splitting with the Bengals. I have them, I believe, splitting with the Steelers as well, and sweeping the Browns. But, I mean, it's going to be a tough season. Like I said before, the AFC North is very, very competitive, apart from the Browns, in my opinion. So I do have them splitting the other teams in there. But, again, you got teams like the Chiefs on here, the Lions on here. The Bears should be improved. The Rams are very good. The Texans are tough. The Vikings should be pretty tough. It's going to be a very difficult season, but hopefully that shows just how confident I am in the Ravens to actually get that done, because this is not a schedule to scoff at. They're going to be tested from week 1 all the way through the rest of the season. I mean, you're going to Buffalo and playing the 2024 MVP week 1 of the season. You're getting thrown right into it. And I mean, your first 4 games, you're playing 3 of those 4 teams that are Super Bowl contenders with the Lions, Chiefs, and the Bills. I mean, this is a tough schedule. I still think they come out on top of this. Any games I think could go either way. Honestly, the Vikings game, I wouldn't be surprised if that went either way. The Texans and probably a weird one like the Jets or something, just because it always happens to every team at least like once in the season usually. But again, I'm confident in this. I am confident in 12-5 for the Ravens. I would be very surprised if they were 10-7 at the worst, to be honest with you. So I have them 12-5, winning the AFC North and advancing to the playoffs once again, where hopefully they can make a run at a Super Bowl finally. But yeah, it should be a really exciting year. I expect very high-level football from Lamar Jackson, of course, from Derrick Henry, of course. I'm excited to see guys like Keaton Mitchell back, Zay Flowers now in year 3, Rashad Bateman again back and healthy after he was banged up 2 years ago. Had a great season last year. Hopefully he builds off that. The Ravens have a lot of really exciting pieces. They have some cool veterans they signed that can give you some meaningful snaps. And then most of all, your draft too. I mean, getting Malachi Starks, that I feel like that went under the radar, to be honest with you. That's a really, really good pick for a secondary that needed that boost. I mean, it's a week 1 starter, to be honest with you. It's a week 1 starter from the draft. So I'm really excited for the Ravens this year. I think they can make a run at it just as well as pretty much any other top team in the NFL can. But you have to establish, I think, some sort of rhythm, because this is a tough schedule, and if you can go on a little bit of a run here, it'll make things so much easier. I know it's stating the obvious, but when you have schedules like this where you're just constantly tested, I mean, it's a long season, it's a physical season, and to get some of those knocked off in a row, it builds that confidence. The Ravens should have that confidence that they can do it, especially from last year. It's a very successful season. Just got to keep going off of it. And I do expect a 12-5 season from the Ravens. So overall, what do you think the Ravens will really be able to do in 2025? Let me know down below. Is this a team that's just going to continue to maybe regress? Did they miss their window? Is their window still open? Are they the best team in the NFL? I feel like people just can't decide how they should take this team, if they should take them seriously or not, because of the postseason struggles from time to time. But I still think they're very dangerous. I think you're getting guys back and healthy that can help you out. Some great signings, very solid draft class, MVP caliber quarterback. It's just time to go win Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I think they're capable of doing it. I think it's very possible they will. But 12-5 on the year. Let me know down below if you guys agree or disagree with that, and any other rankings you guys have. I want to say next is going to be a tier list video, probably ranking all the wide receivers going into next season. Then after that, we'll do either the Steelers or the Browns. Then after that, Steelers or Browns, and then after that, tier list. It'll be a kind of a pattern of 2 of these videos broken up with a different video, and then 2 more, and then broken up, and 2 more, and so on. And the goal is to get these all done literally up until the season starts. So this will be going from the Bengals videos like a few days ago. So from that to September like 1st, 2nd, we're going right to the season starts. So yeah, subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a like. I would really appreciate it. It helps out the channel and the video a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.